We've got first pitch. Mets, Astros, SNY. Swung on a miss, strike one. And Jerry, you mentioned Kodai Senga
game, and they talked about how his finger quite isn't strengthened up.
Hefner and Senga about the difference pitching-wise in Japan versus to hone in on two here in the States as he pumps that one in for
on mastering one or two.
Ground side, Escobar handles. High throw up for the Astros. Takes strike one.
The hitters can pick it up. The way he releases it, the hitters can see him behind the ball. I think that's the biggest.
Julks grounds that one to third. Groin surgery in November as he sold. Dearden settles underneath it. Now that he's fully healthy, and
team's abilities are even farther.
As Lindor chases that one out of the zone
as a pitcher.
Fly ball to Jevic, backs up, makes the grab.
Side sessions before your next start. But when and proper.
Bobbled in the outfield, and Dearden into second base with swung on and missed, strike three. So after giving up the
for me personally,
skies that one, goes Dearden in front of the track and makes the catch. You approach that at bat.
It makes you be a little bit finer about what you're doing on where you're
Senga getting his third inning of work, and guys that one foul.
Yeah, between 7,000 and 7,500 calories a day.
Gosh.
And often with peanut butter and jelly in my hands.
Pop, if I've ever seen one, Darren Ruff. Senga throws over, and I think now, do we do every time we get a throw over? Is loops that one into right field, falls in front of Marte. Ball left side, Escobar gets the out at second, on to first. Al Leiter this year. How do you feel? What was that like when you thought it was going to happen?
Amazing, or the right thing to do to get in the. I did hear that one. It was named after a guy. Yeah, so then you impart all that, Jerry, right? You have your.
So Al, as Escobar swings through that pitch, strike three, you think those two are able to do it?
Well, I got a chance to be and they're going to the Hall of Fame. They are so in tune and meticulous about they're really attentive to their process. And it is serious. And I think now when you get guys, of course I don't know all of it, but I see enough to know that these guys, how do I take
a more deserving group of players? Really just an awesome class.
Am I?
Yep.
2 strikes, 2 outs. Now 3 is Starlin Marte. Corey Jump. 1-1. Just missed the count for today. Pops that one, presented by Sage.
Well, I think that was an auto take just
and to right field. Plenty of room for in Senga's last start that he was able to be effective without that ghost forward.
Yeah, I think that's a great piece to be your kind of your fail safe.
Still scoreless here. Francisco Lindor leads off for the Mets against Phil Maton. And get this field, but
we were talking with Al, but he had that sweeping
to do things around the city. So just an example, by wearing a Mets hat, free access to the. There are also going to be, this is my favorite part of it, reps
around the city. I'm always looking for somebody in a Mets hat to just be like, you know, let's go Mets or something.
For a place to go, you may want to just meander around Union Square.
Yeah, that's
total
nice.
Guesses.
What a cool thing. A mate correctly named.
Vogelback grounds out.
His brain, but he also has electric stuff. He's got a high 90s fast.
Majors over the last 4 seasons with the Astros, 140 strikeouts in 108 1/3.
Never got to play with Randy Johnson or Ken Griffey Jr. Am I?
I know you never got to play with Ken Griffey Jr., but because
of the pace of this game, let's just say.
Hold on. Let's start
at the time. And I remember watching him take BP earlier in the game for out number 3, and I sat in the million times in the backyard. I got to face, you know, when I'm pretending to be in the big leagues, 2-mile walk in the Coliseum. And I also did another moments I'll forever be grateful for in the game of baseball. And then I got to talk to him and
not in the past, Jerry, but for me, the best part of the job is rough ground game. Shohei Ohtani striking out Mike.
Ohtani said it before the tournament. The greatest player of my generation, longevity. But I mean, what an amazing event. That ending is incredible.
You know, I mean, it's been talked about ad nauseum, but it's hard to imagine.
There might have been. There's a bunch of two-way players. Obviously, the National League didn't have a DH because of baseball countries. He is truly a unicorn.
But Jerry, I think for the season, the Astros losing Jose Altuve for at least
stand the risks being taken, like losing Edwin Diaz for this team. But as a fan of the game of baseball, to love what the WBC's doing, it grows really tough.
Kessinger, half swing, fouls that ball. Sarah Lee, love the tournament and the risk associated with it. What a spectacle it truly is, and has become, to your point, not just...
you can't. I understand. To me, Major League Baseball is still...
So it's interesting you say that, Jerry, because obviously situations feel different for you. Does this feel like, okay, I'm coming in a big spot?
This is a big outing.
So one away, still scoreless, runners on first and second.
Ball double play.
And he walks him on 4 straight pitches to load the bases. He's loaded.
I could see Narvaez walking out, calming him down.
And the 3-0 in there for a strike. So after 7 straight. Right on the corner. Strike 3 called right on the outside corner. And Jacob 1-0. He does not. Right off the outside corner, and he walks in a run. So Julks skull. That's going to be down in the gap, and that
so concentrated on throwing strikes was Jimmy Yacobonis. I think that's the 1 run and a guy that gives up 4 there.
Guillorme makes the play this game. Austin Davis, the new pitcher for the Astros, the lefty, but maybe 2 days ago, about the adrenaline.
This is your job. And as a baseball player, Tommy Pham swings through it's on me now to execute that. And so the more I got into it, appreciated it, because every time I'm at me, and again, I'm going to be a little bit more poetic because it's what I did.
Yeah. Some little scout tips.
But I always would be, and a lot of times the game's on the line, so I always took it.
Guillorme slices that one into left field for a base. Said you look to get them out, but is there one through line with hitters that are that
through? I would get a little bit more information at 6-holder. First and second here, they can fight back. If you make a mistake, it's going to do damage. They're just kinds of things.
Eduardo Escobar up with 2 on and 1 out here in the 5th inning.
The Nationals, where you would pitch around him, I'm like, I'm going to make him get this guy out. That was a Yacobonis bases loaded kind of moment.
Yeah.
And
ground ball. The score is Guillorme. Held up at third is Narvaez. At second and third, still 1 out. Marte swinging first pitch, fouls it straight back. 0-1. And we saw it later with that September.
Correct. Like they brought him over. He behind Pete Alonso to kind of protect him. And this is another one of the fight for that. One of the opens.
It's Buck claims it's true. It sounds like a
quirky. But when you're coming down to it, great slider there. Just a good couple of outs.
And you know, with McFarland, he's coming off a rough season. Really good season. An ERA just north of Tulls. As Canna makes the play to end the... When that happens, when a ball comes right back at you, are you thinking at all, or is it
how fast it's coming at you because of the depth perception? You get a big... You're just trying to get your glove in front of it and get your face out of the way.
All right, so we've got Vogel back to... Hold on. I can face lefties too.
Yeah, like much like we talk need to kind of moments, and so he understands where he's good, but he also, if you need me to do this, throw a strike and get on base with a walk.
It's a hard hit ground ball for the Mets that have been difficult. Okay, I've been calling plays as we almost got a
made that catch.
baseball. I've been